What is going on, all of you red and blue plumbers out there in the world? I am MegaAmpster. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you are new here, hey, welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here. Returning viewers, always great to see you. Thank you for the continued support and for all the subscribers as of late with all the Summer Game Fest reactions and everything. Speaking of which, today's video topic is going to relate to that because I am here talking about the Super Mario RPG remake that was announced for the first time at the Nintendo Direct that aired just about a week as of this recording, and completely took me off guard. Seems like it took a lot of people off guard as well. I know there was a leak going into this presentation that there was a Super Nintendo remake that was going to be at the Nintendo Direct. Some people were talking Chrono Trigger. There were some people who mentioned this game. I was honestly thinking they were referring to Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, which I believe was originally released on the Super Nintendo. But that actually might have been Super Famicom, so maybe that doesn't fully count. Anyways, we are here to talk about this game specifically. This game kind of came out of nowhere. Really cool announcement. A lot of people are excited, including myself, as I've never played the original Super Mario RPG, but the fact that they're bringing this back is a really big deal. And I wanted to talk about a few big reasons why it's such a big deal. And I mean, obviously, to start off, it's like, the main thing is like Nintendo seemingly forgot about this game, right? The fact that they're bringing back, this game came out in, I believe it was 90, you know what? I should know this off the top of my head. When did this game come out? I should know this. When did Super Mario, it's like 90, was it 96, 95, somewhere around there? I can type without looking at the keyboard. 96, yeah, March 9th, 96. Originally, I thought it was earlier, but then I found this like last week and I was like, oh, it was a little, it wasn't, I mean, it's still almost 30 years old, right? It's still a very old game. So the fact that Nintendo is even bringing this back is a massive deal, and it's a very faithful remake. I mean, you can even see in some of the animations during gameplay, it's still like that grid-based movement, even it's not even that full 8-direction analog movement. So it's a very faithful remake. You look at some of the animations too. Clearly they're doing a lot of it, you know? I know a lot of people going to this were worried they were going to do the Paper Mario effect, where it was going to be like more generic characters instead of even like Mallow and Gino, but there's no way they could have done that. Fans would have been absolutely outraged if they did that, and Nintendo knows that. So the fact that this seems very faithful is an awesome thing. They're also, adding some new stuff. I just want to highlight it a little bit. Apparently, people are saying this chain attack with the percentage is new, so they are changing some of the combat, which is kind of cool. Will they change it to be even more in line with like Mario RPG or Paper Mario? I don't know. Like I said, I honestly have no experience with any of those games, so I can't tell you what's the same and what's carried over, what's not. But it looks really good. The main first reason I want to get into though, about why this is such a big deal, is because for a while with the Nintendo Switch Online service, you know, this game has not come to Nintendo Switch Online, and at this point, I don't see why it would. And originally, myself included, a lot of us were thinking, you know, why have they not brought Super Mario RPG to the Super Nintendo Online? It's Mario, it's a good RPG, it's a cult classic title, and they just never did it. Big reason we were thinking was because of dealings with Square Enix, but then again, we knew Square Enix was putting a ton of games on, you know, and not really NSO, there's not a ton of third party, and specifically Square Enix on there, but like, you know, they've been putting a lot of their games in general, like re-releases or remasters, all of that, new games on the Nintendo Switch. So clearly, Nintendo and Square Enix have had a really friendly partnership. I mean, hell, look at the two of them worked with Disney to get Sora in Smash. Like, come on, like they clearly have a good working relationship here. And so it was kind of a weird reason as to, you know, why is this game not here? It was the same thing with the idea of Chrono Trigger. It was like, okay, maybe it's just because Square and Nintendo aren't really working together. But now it makes even more sense because this game has probably been in development for at least a couple years at this point, right? I mean, you can tell by the quality of what we're seeing, and the game's coming out this November. So clearly it's been in the pipeline for at least a few years. So now, in hindsight, it makes a hell of a lot more sense why Mario RPG never came to NSO. But then again, that would have been way more likely. We got the less likely outcome here with a full-on remake of the game, which is, I think, the cooler option, to have a remake and just have it just cleaned up. One thing that prevented me from ever trying Mario RPG, I mean, one thing because I'm not huge into turn-based RPGs, but also the visuals were, you know, they're a little dated. You know, I put them maybe a tiny bit below Donkey Kong Country, and I know it's definitely an aesthetic choice that some people prefer. I think it's not bad. I don't know, this looks so much cleaner to me for the new age. And I mean, especially in this day and age, like, not to say you need this kind of art style, but it's definitely going to rope in more players, I think, rather than the pixelated look back in the day, you know? And it just, I mean, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. This transition they had from this scene, the glowing light comes out, and then into the full 3D is honestly amazing. Peach, Mario, they all look adorable. I want to give them big old hugs. Mario wants uppies. I will give him uppies and his Mario food. But yeah, the fact that now we know this is not going back to the original point. I know I sidetracked a little bit there on this game not being on Nintendo Switch Online. I mean, I highly doubt it is now. The question becomes, does this have implications for other games? It's not going to be 100% of the case, and I really don't know if it's going to happen, but could this mean that certain games that we kind of were hoping or really expecting almost to see on Nintendo Switch Online, if they're not on the service, could that mean they're getting the Super Mario RPG Remake treatment? Could we see Chrono Trigger Remake or HD2D down the line? Honestly, I think that is in the works. I think that's going to happen. I don't think this situation necessarily adds any like new evidence to support that, but like it's still something to keep in mind. Also, I don't know, like Mother 3, it's probably not happening at all, but like at this rate, it probably would be something like a remake rather than a re-release. I don't know. I don't know what they would do. But regardless, this is just a really cool thing. And now, like I said, in hindsight, it makes a hell of a lot more sense as to why, you know, we didn't get this on Nintendo Switch Online. So first main reason, it's really important. Second of all, you know, one thing that especially Paper Mario fans I know have been clamoring about for years is that in the recent games starting with Sticker Star, Paper Mario is no longer that RPG Mario series, which is even more unfortunate when you look at what happened with the Mario and Luigi series and Alpha Dream closing down. They did those 3DS remakes of Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story. I don't think they did super well, and apparently, according to that story that came out like, what, a year or two ago, they lost money off of those, which really stinks. But like, Alpha Dream's closed now, so I don't even know if there's ever going to be another Mario and Luigi game. And also, you know, with Paper Mario, like I just said, like, Origami King, while it has like the battles are kind of RPG elements, like in a little ways, it's more of an adventure game, which by all means is not a bad thing. I know, you know, I've heard really good things about Origami King. Sticker Star and Color Splash, obviously Sticker Star is universally hated, but Color Splash I've heard like okay things about. It seems like they've been getting a little better with Paper Mario, but it's definitely not that RPG it used to be with the original and with Thousand Year Door. But what's so important about this release is, I mean, yes, it's a remake, but this also could be another jumping off point for Mario RPGs. Like, they're remaking this maybe to test the waters to see, okay, will people buy this game that is a Mario core turn-based RPG? And if it sells well, which I really hope it does, and I feel like it will, maybe they'll make a sequel. Maybe they'll make other Mario RPGs in this style, or just maybe this could lead to like a Paper Mario 64 remake. I know people really want a Thousand Year Door remake, maybe that too, but honestly, that game looks really good as it is. They could just re-release it and remaster it a little bit, touch it up a little bit. But this could really be the jumping off point for Mario RPGs to return and become a regular thing again, considering that Mario and Luigi is, as far as we know, dead at this point, and Paper Mario is no longer in that traditional RPG style. So this could really be the chance for Mario to return to that formula. And if it's, hopefully it sells well, you know, if it does, which I think it will, maybe we'll get more in. That would be awesome. But last final reason why this is very important is it doesn't just involve this game, it involves all of the Mario announcements we got at the Nintendo Direct, including Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Peach game, and Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, all of those announcements, even, I guess even Mario Kart to an extent. This game is very important because the Mario movie coming out earlier this year, just a couple months, or almost a few months actually, as of this recording, Nintendo is roping in a lot of new Mario fans, especially younger kids, and in some cases, you know, adults with kids who maybe went to see the movie, are like, oh yeah, I used to play Mario back in the day, let's see what he's all about. And maybe they enjoyed the movie, and then they're like, oh, look at this Switch, look at all these Mario games coming out, and the games that are already on the platform. Like, maybe I'll invest in the newest platform and the newest games now, you know? And like, between the newer fans and the old fans returning, like, this is the perfect time for Nintendo to capitalize on kind of the Mario mania, if you will, right? Add a bunch of new games. I think this is the reason why they announced the Peach game so early, as well as the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon port. I think is because they want to capitalize on those people who saw the Mario movie and are kind of coming back into Nintendo and into Mario, or are brand new fans. Like, for example, my nephews, apparently they really didn't know much about Mario until they saw the movie and they loved it, and so they're probably going to turn into Mario fans now. They're going to want to play some of the games. They're a little young, but once they get older, and so like kids like them, and then also, like I said, adults who maybe were kind of regressed out of Mario for a while are going to come back in. And especially in a case like this game where maybe they played the original Mario RPG on Super Nintendo, they see this remake, they're like, wow, this game looks great. I remember this being so fun. It looks so much better. Let me give it another go and relive those memories, but in this modern style. It's really a really smart tactical plan on Nintendo's end to capitalize on the Mario movie. And I know we had talked about that for a couple months before, about like, oh, like I was thinking, oh, they're going to do that during the September Direct. This is before we even had a June Direct confirmed, and I still thought that there wasn't going to be a June first-party focused Direct. But Nintendo proved me wrong with all of these Mario announcements, and it makes so much sense because of that reason. With the Mario movie, with Super Nintendo Land, all of that Mario goodness they're capitalizing on now with the software on their main video game platform. And it's great to see. And which is why, like, while I hate that they announced the Peach game so early, it wasn't quite a Metroid Prime 4 situation, but it kind of gives me slight vibes of that. This is why they're doing it, because they want people to know, oh, there's even more Mario content, especially because Peach was such a highlight of a character in the movie. It's like, okay, of course she's going to get her own game again, which is awesome. I love that Peach is getting her own game. They're pushing Luigi's Mansion even harder than ever. You know what I would love, and I know it's not going to happen. First of all, new Donkey Kong. I feel like that's got to happen because of the Mario movie. I feel like it has to, right? But also, is there any chance we get Wario Land again? Like, I know we're getting WarioWare, but it's not the same. I don't know. We'll see. We will see what happens. But it also makes me think in the sequel to the Mario movie, which, I mean, we already know is pretty much happening at this point. Because Daisy's playable in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I honestly think she's going to, like, almost like a lock going to be in the sequel to the Mario movie. I feel like it's going to happen at this point, but we'll see. Maybe Wario and Waluigi. Probably not Waluigi. Maybe Wario, though. We'll see. I don't know. But some really cool implications because of this game, right? Like I said, mainly because of the NSO situation. Now we know why it's not here, and what could that mean for the future. Obviously, the future of Mario RPGs in general is looking brighter than ever now because Nintendo's willing to take this risk. And also, I mean, the future of Mario, right? Mario is popping off, becoming bigger than ever. I mean, look at how many people are listening to the Peaches song by Jack Black, right? Like, Mario's always been massive, but Mario has become even more mainstream, and games like this, probably more so Mario Brothers Wonder, this is almost like a nod to the old fans, but also a test for new fans. And Mario Brothers Wonder especially to bring in new fans, to test the waters and see, okay, who wants to play our games now? Our bread and butter from Nintendo. Who's going to play these Mario games? And they have a load of them coming out end of this year into probably early next year. So that's awesome to see. And I mean, there's another 3D Mario in the works. So that's going to be probably for the next platform, but that's going to happen eventually. But that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to talk about why this was important. And I think I'm going to get this game. Like I said, I've never played the original Mario RPG. I'm not a huge turn-based RPG fan. I've enjoyed some, like Phantasy Star 4 is the main one that comes to mind for me. I enjoyed the bits I played of Final Fantasy VII. Still have to finish the original game. That's a whole other thing in itself. But I do want to give this a shot. I've heard it's not too long, like 15 to 20 hours maybe. And that kind of is right up my alley. So like a slightly shorter turn-based RPG sounds like a great experience for me. I think this could be a potential RPG that bridges that gap for me into new or other turn-based RPGs, So we will see, but I'll probably get this game. If I do, maybe I'll stream it. We will see, but with that, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with the opinions I have in terms of how this impacts Mario going into the future? If you disagree, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you're going to get this game, if you're excited for it. It seems like most people are, so definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, hey, gamers, I will catch you all on the next video or live stream. And hey, Mario Mayhem coming later this year. It's all good. It's fun. Sonic Superstars, better watch out. I guess it's coming out the same week as Wonder. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you so much for watching again. I will catch you all on the next video or live stream. And until then, take care.